Hello again, thanks for joining. So here I've got two Roco coaches to have a look at. Well, actually technically one's a baggage car. I really like Roco's stuff. Normally it's really good quality and I've consistently been impressed by their coaches. These I got second hand. They didn't come with boxes unfortunately, and I think the baggage car does have a little bit of damage here and there. We're going to have a closer look at both of them and see whether second hand Roco coaches are worth buying or not. So I'm going to start off with the passenger coach, which is a second class. I think this is probably a commuter coach because it's got the doors in the middle, but it also has a baggage compartment at this end too. It feels quite a good quality model when I picked it up. Not the heaviest I've ever felt, but it does have a feel of being a bit of a quality item. So looking on the top of the roof, it's quite a simple silver finish. It's got a couple of air vents, but apart from that, it's quite plain. No moulding marks or anything like that, which is good. It's a separate piece to the body. And as I look a bit closer onto the body, you can see obviously we've got flush fit glazing with silver surrounds, and you can see inside that we've got an interior in there in brown plastic. I do like the windows on these, they look very convincing. And also we've got some really nice printing. You can see the second with the no smoking there, the coach specification here, and we've also got a second class here at the centre doors, which also have these fantastic windows and surrounds. I like the steps that come down here as well, and also all the printing around here is all very crisp and clear. And you see the DB logo there as well. This one has got a lighter green stripe along it. I think that's probably for no smoking. Not 100% sure, but if you know, let me know in the comments below. And the finish here is a nice matte colour on the body. Particularly like the little handrails at the doors. They're picked out in silver. I think those are actually extra pieces that have been put in plastic. And we also have these steps coming down as well as part of the chassis. This one is unfortunately missing a buffer, but you can see that these are separate buffers that have been pushed in. So I'm guessing you could probably get a replacement part to put into there. This is also a separate piece on the gangway, and we have a roller shutter there which is very nicely moulded. Two little red markers. This one doesn't have any pickups, so they're not illuminated, but it makes it very easy to illuminate these coaches if you want. And even the little windows there have glazing too. There is a little bit of a gap here on the roof with the main body, so it's not fitting quite exactly right, but it's not too bad. I like features like this one here where the windows be moulded a little way down as if it's been opened for ventilation. And looking down here at the baggage compartment, the windows have been moulded in a way to imply that it has little bars there, which works pretty well. Again, the glazing on the doors is really good and is a nice definition of the door. It looks very convincing with the rivet detail in the brackets. We've got a destination board here which is just completely blank, and at this end another door with a handle. Looking around this side of the coach, the handle has disappeared here, which obviously means it's a separate piece. It looks as though it's just glued on, so it's fallen off there. And also have the same problem at this end of the coach, so handrails only on one side. So looking at the chassis, it's made of black plastic and it has some nice detail on it. I definitely like these boxes here in the middle. What I do also really like is the detail on these bogies. The brakes are almost in line with the wheels, which look great. The springs are very well defined and there's a lot of very delicate detail on that, which looks really convincing. The wheels are dulled metal, they revolve not too bad. They could be maybe a little bit better, but not bad at all. And we have the couplings in them pockets, which cantilever separately to the bogies. Underneath here, there's a lot of detail. All the pipework and bracing has been picked out, which has been done really very well. I think I made a mistake earlier. This piece here with the steps coming down is actually part of the body. So this has been masked off and painted black, and you can see it's green on the inside. And here it says Roco made in Austria. So I'm really impressed with this coach. I think it's got a lot of nice detail to it. The windows look really good and the finish is good as well. And I like these bogies. But let's move on to the baggage car. This is much longer than the coach. And I think the prototype for this is probably older era than the coach. I might be wrong in that, but this is looking like a all wooden affair with a metal roof. Again, it's got that silver colour to it, which is really good. However, there is a little dimple in the middle. It looks like maybe a moulding mark or something. But the side of this coach looks really good. There's a lot of detail here with rivet detail bracing and the planks as well. The doors look really good. The windows aren't exactly flush fit on these, but they're very, very close. And they have been moulded in a way to look as though they've got bars on them, even on the doors as well. The printing isn't too bad either. It looks pretty good with the DB and the numbers here. But there isn't a huge amount of printing on this model. I think I've noticed actually underneath this is a separate piece, and you can tell because it's actually moving around. So I'm going to have to glue that back in. I guess it's come loose. I think it fits up here. But that shows that some extra parts have been added onto the underside of this, and the bracing looks really good, and I especially like the planking detail underneath, which looks fantastic with its grain. There's also some problems like with these little steps coming down, which are so fine that this one has been broken in the past and somebody's glued it. Like I said, this is a second-hand model. But looking at the end now, we've got a little handrail there as well moulded in, and there's an additional piece of plastic in black here with these little railings, and these steps coming down are part of the chassis. We've got this for the gangway, but it's a very interesting setup here, very different to other coaches I've seen. Again, we've got a similar little bit of a gap where the roof matches onto the body. Not too bad though. And there's no glazing on that little tiny porthole window there. The bogies also look good. It's a different design to the coach. They look like an earlier model, but they've got some nice rivet detail and springs as well. We do have this like a fake dynamo hanging off the back of the bogie, which looks very convincing. It actually goes around the axle of the wheel and does look pretty cool, although it does move back and forward as the bogie moves. This part here is also really good. It's got some nice rivet detail on it and it's very fine. And underneath here, just underneath the wonky piece, you can see Roco made in Austria as well. And as with the coach, we have NEM pockets which cantilever separate to the bogies, but the bogies also move them a little bit as well. And we also have a little bit of suspension travel here too, which is pretty cool. So overall, this is a really impressive baggage car. It's quite a long model though, and obviously it's quite fragile because some of the parts have broken or need to be fixed back on because they've fallen off. But I'm impressed with this and the coach, but I think we should put these on the scales and see how much they weigh. So the coach weighs 130 grams and the baggage car 155 grams. I think I've managed to get that piece in. It looks a bit wonky though, but don't know. I think that's where it goes. So these have been very interesting models to look at and have reassured me that Roco stuff I think is pretty good. The coach has got a lot of nice stuff going for it. It's got the really good windows. I like how the door has even got windows with surrounds on it, and the fact that some of the windows have been moulded kind of halfway down. It just gives a bit more character to the coach. The printing on it is really good as well, and overall it has a feel of a good quality item. The baggage car is suffering, I think, from just being a little bit too fragile. It could be that the plastics are getting old now and getting a bit brittle and they're starting to break. So we've seen things like the little steps coming down from the doors are broken and somebody's had to glue them in the past, and pieces underneath are starting to fall off as well. But it's the age-old trade-off, isn't it? You want extra parts and more detail on your models and a finer finish, but then that means it's more fragile and less robust overall. And as it gets older, it takes a few bashes and then your models get broken. So it's always a balancing act. When it comes to price, both these models would come in around about £15 on the second-hand market. I think that makes some really good value for money. And my favourite out of the two here is definitely the coach. Although the baggage car does get an honourable mention because it does have a lot of detail and a lot of character as well. I really like the look of that as well. But what's your favourite? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think about these models? Do you think Roco's worth checking out, or is it just getting a bit too fragile now and you need something a bit more robust if you've got clumsy fingers like mine? Let me know in the comments below. Love to know your thoughts. And I'll put these on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos which will be coming soon. Thanks for watching. See ya.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, tiny trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo.